YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today, guys, we finally got all of the things necessary or needed for the new Dragon Maids. Now, this coming 27th, we only got two new supports for the Dragon Maid, so I'm going to talk about that. The tech cards, the variants, and lastly, the combos that you can use for the new Dragon Maids. With that, let's talk about the newer cards first. So these are the newer cards. So the evolved form of Chamber Dragon Maid is the Dragon Maid Shermba. So Dragon Fusion monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can discard this card, spell summon one Dragon Maid monster from your graveyard or banishment, except the Shermba. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card from to the hand, and if you do, you can spell summon one level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your hand. The next one is Lady's Dragon Maid. So this is the newest and possibly the most useful card for the Dragon Maid archetype. So two Dragon Maid monsters with the same attribute but different levels must be spell summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above monsters, one each from your field and or graveyard. So basically, this is contact fusing, my guy. If this card is special summon, you can spell summon one level 4 or lower Dragon Maid monster from your deck. During the standby phase, you can fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from the field and or banishment into the deck. The one that you banished or used to spell summon Lady Dragon Maid, you can also use that one to spell summon the other fusion monster from your extra deck. Normally, you're gonna target, of course, Shiyu, because it's an Omni Negate for the Dragon Maid archetype. So that is basically your newer cards for the Dragon Maid archetype. With regards to the number of copies, pure 2 to 3 copies would be the best choice. For the Shermba, it's definitely on 1 copy, the same as the other higher dragons. With regards to the core, you need 1 copy of Think Heck, 1 copy of Lorpar, and with regards to their human form, of course, Chamber Dragon Maid, 3 copies of Kitchen Dragon Maid, and 3 copies of Parlor Dragon Maid. For the spell cards, anyways, you have the Hospitality that just to spell summon a Dragon Maid monster from your graveyard to the field. And then lastly, the Tiding for the trap card, because this floats and this also targets 1 card in the field or in their graveyard, return them to the hand. Plus, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this, spell summon 1 Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. So even so, this is still a pretty good card to have. With regards to the number of copies, some people are running with 2 copies depending on their build, but so far 1 is enough for me in my other variants that I'm going to showcase to you. But majority, you can run 2 copies. Then with regards to the changeover, before you can run 2 copies, but for this, you can just run with 1. With regards to the extra deck monsters, for the Shu, you have 2 copies, and the House Dragon Maid on 2 copies as well, if you're running pure. I think there's an engine that you can actually work with this. So probably you're gonna go with this here if ever you're gonna run an engine. It might be weird though, but it is workable. So that is it. Maybe, yeah, like that. I think that's basically the easiest way to suffice this deck and how it can be useful as an engine. So the thing about this Dragon Maid, since you need to have the normal summon for this archetype, you must have another variant or another archetype that works with special summoning only. So we'll talk about them in a bit. So there we go, let's put them back. So that is your core deck list for the Dragon Maid archetype. Let's move on to the tech cards. Alright, so we managed to talk about the core deck list and the engine or the possible engine for the Dragon Maid archetype. Now we have the tech cards as well. So you might be wondering why we have Sangen Kaimen is because you can add 1 level 4 or lower Fire Dragon Master, which is Kitchen Dragon Maid, as your primary target. For your Noctovision, another good card as well. If a Dark Dragon Master is spell summoned to your field, you can spell summon this card from your hand. There's no actual way to get this other than having a copy of Magnamut. Then we have the Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon, so you can only spell summon this by banishing 1 face-up Dragon Master you control. Now, the banishing part isn't really like a big problem because like we talked about earlier, Lady's Dragon Maid, cycle them back from the banish pile to your deck to spell summon another Dragon Master to the field. During the main phase as well, you can spell summon 1 Dragon Master from your hand or graveyard except the Red Eyes. So another good monster as well to have on the field just to gain more access to your Dragon Masters from your graveyard or hand. So that is Dark Metal Dragon. Dragon Ravine is another good card as well. It's not about the adding 1 level 4 or lower Dragonity, but of course sending 1 Dragon Master from your deck to the graveyard, which of course it is pretty good if you're dumping your garnets, which is your higher level dragon monsters or dragon maid monsters. So that actually works out. Then lastly, we have also Quackimiro Drago. Now the reason why we're going into this, or we're even talking about this, is because seals can actually summon this to the field. Oh, seal. Sorry. If this card is distributed, spell summon one Dragon Master from your hand or deck and make its attack 0. Honestly, this is a brick. If ever you're gonna use this into this Dragon Maid deck, this is basically a brick. But if you manage to summon this during your opponent's turn, your opponent can't play with Mitsurugi's, partly Ryzeal. Your opponent can't even play Malice. But like I said, it is basically a brick in the deck if you draw it. So that is basically it for the tech cards. I can't really find any other like good supports for the Dragon Maid archetype, other than of course Dragon Rulers. We'll talk about them in a bit. But anywho, that is your tech cards. Let's move on into the variants for the deck. Okay, so here we are with the variants of the Dragonmaids. Now, it's understandable that Fiendsmith is another good variant as well. But, you know, I don't really want to add it because it's typically a normal thing that you can actually add Fiendsmith into any type of deck. And you can make it as playable as possible. So with that, I'm just going to make the decks that are somewhat fun to actually play in the game. Other than playing Fiendsmith in it, or even your typical Kashtira as an engine. So yeah, here we are. So with a pure version here, this is what we're running for Master Duel, of course. So the deck doesn't take up too much space, so there is a lot of room for non-engines. So your typical Ash Blossoms, Foalos, Maxis, your Nibiru as well. Your board breakers like Triple Tactics, Super Poly. Oh yeah, Infinite Impermanence, your counter hand traps, Called By, Cross Out, whatever. Typical cards, the Bishop Lubellion, Drew's Worm, things like that if you're going up against Malice, Mitsurugi, or even Ryzeal. So this actually works well around them. Extra deck, your typical, like I said, 2 obs for every Dragon Maid Fusion Monster. The rest are basically for good targets for Super Poly. And yeah, Link Monsters, Heretic Seal, and then Striker Dragon. That's basically it for the pure version. So that's it. Let's move on to the next variant. Okay, so the next variant is or Dragon Ruler, Dragon Maid. So like I said earlier, Dragon Ruler is partly a good variant for this deck. There is a bit of power into this deck if ever you're gonna add, of course, Dragon Rulers. Take note as well, the Dragon Rulers in Master Duel are all you are. So, well, the big body Dragon Ruler monsters are all you are, and they're all on 3 copies each. So, yeah, you're gonna spend like 240 UR shards just for these monsters right here. So, yeah, it's up to you if you want to use it. Like I said, this is a brick. You can choose not to use it. So, yeah, to make it like 44 cards in total. But anywho, that's my version for this. You can edit this one on any means possible to make this a bit playable. So yeah, that's Dragon Ruler, Dragon Maid. Let's move on with the next variant. Okay, second to the last variant, we have here Mitsurugi Dragon Maid. And like I said earlier, this deck takes up your normal summon. So Mitsurugi is a bit of a good archetype to pair it with, because they do a lot of spell summoning. So amazing as it is, that is one of the good variants that you can actually use with Dragon Maids. Oh yeah, if you want the deck list for these variants, it will always be in the comment section below, so check that one out. So with that, that is Mitsurugi Dragon Maid. Let's move on to our last variant. So for our last variant, so this is Dark End Evaporation Dragon, and this is Light End Sublimation Dragon. So the reason for this is you can go into a copy of Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. But I've heard a lot of comments or debates around this variant of Dragon Maids. They say that it's not really a really good variant for the Dragon Maids because, well, you're basically running bricks into the deck. Plus, of course, the Lorpar, the Tinkhek, and of course the Chembra. This is one of the things that they said it's kind of bricky. But it's up to you, because some people as well says that Dragon Maids with this variant is kind of strong. So I don't really know per se, because I'm not really a Dragon Maid fan. But yes, it's up to you if you want to use it, of course, if you have the cards. So with that, that is your Light and Darkest Dragon Maid. Let's move on to the combos for this deck. Alright, so for the combos, we are gonna start off with 3 combos here. One for Parlor, one for Kitchen, and one for Chamber Dragon Maid. So these are your 1-card starters for just these 3 cards here. Let's start off. We go for Parlor first. Normal summon to the field, dump a copy of Lore Part to the grave, and then we fuse or contact fuse into the new Lady Dragon Maid. Once this one hits the field, you can spell summon 1 Dragon Maid or level 4 or lower from your deck to the field. So we target Chamber Dragon Maid here. Get a copy of Hospitality. We link off the Chamber into a Striker Dragon. And then we use the Hospitality, spell summon it from the graveyard. Now take note, you can also get the trap card from this if you need it or if you want to. But for this combo, you can have the Hospitality with you. And also, you dump a copy of the Shermba from your deck to the graveyard as the resolution for the Hospitality. With that, with the 2 Dragon Monsters, you can go for Hieratic Seal, and that is what you can do with the board. It's mediocre at best with regards to the board. So, during the standby phase of the next turn, we use the effect of Lady's Dragon Maid, sync off into Shu, spinning the 2 monsters from the banish pile, going to a copy of Shu here, and then use the effect of Shu, spell summon 1 from the graveyard. So we'll typically target Dragon Maid Shermba, which also is protection for your Dragon Fusion monster. So Dragon Fusion monster you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So that's an amazing protection as well. Take note, if you have this 4 bodies on the field, plus of course the other archetype that I've talked a while ago with regards to the variant, that would be a pretty nice feat to actually have, right? So yeah, that is what you can do with the deck with just 1 copy of Parlor Dragon Maid. There you go. So with that, let's move on to the next combo. Okay, so the combos for the Dragon Maid here that I'm showcasing to you guys, it has the same output here, but the lines are different. Well, almost different in the first 2 or 3 cards on the field. So anyways, with this combo, let's start off with Kitchen first. There you go. So Kitchen normal summon. Kitchen adds a card. We get its same attribute monster, Solar Pack. Send to the graveyard, of course. We banish those 2 cards. Go for Lady Dragon Maid. And then we summon the Chamber again, get Hospitality like we did earlier, and that's it. Striker, then Hospitality, and then Chamber again to the field with the 2 bodies, go for Hieratic Seal, and that's it basically. That's the same thing that we did earlier, but just with the Kitchen Dragon Maid. Alright, so with that, let's move on to our last combo, which is Chamber Dragon Maid. Okay, so for the Chamber Dragon Maid, let's start. We go for Chamber first. Get a copy of Hospitality. Then we go for Striker. Then Hospitality here. There you go. Dump a copy of Shermba. Banish the 2 cards from the field and the graveyard. Go for Ladies. Spell summon the Parlor. Parlor dumps any card. You can dump even a copy of the Tidying if ever you wish, but for this we're just gonna dump a copy of Lore Part just to avoid drawing this one on your next turn, because of course, and also this works well with Parlor on the field, so it's up to you. So that's it. For the 2 bodies, go for Hieratic Seal again, and then end our turn. The next turn, you can spell summon the Parlor here. Then if your opponent is going for a battle phase, you can swap the Lore Pack with your Parlor in the field, and that's basically well, another higher level dragon monster in the field. So with that, that is basically what we can do with the new Dragon Maid cards. We'll be talking about the new BES cards as well, so stay tuned. I'll upload another video with regards to the new BES and how it works. It is kind of promising though for new machine decks. So anyways, that's it for today. Keep safe, good luck. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.